Hey guys, I'm Daniel.
I'm Saga MC.
This is Scuffle, episode 7. How you doing, Saga? How you doing?
I'm good.
You good? You good?
I'm good. I'm ready.
You hitting the bag?
No. No.
No, you just have it up there hanging?
Yeah, it's for looks at this point.
Okay. It's part
I
of your
look at it, I'm like, oh, that's a nice bag. All
now
right, see it.
It's part of the decor now, huh?
Close the garage up.
There it is.
No, I'm trying to get back into it. I've actually started to get back into it. So
Okay.
yeah, it took. I got in it. I got out of it. I had to get rid of some weights.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't have weights to actually work out. Yeah.
Wait. What weights did you get rid of?
No, because my brother-in-law had lent me his weights because
that's
it's so hard.
right.
So hard to buy weights and shit. So he had lent them to me. Then he sold them. He's like, oh, I need those back. I need to sell them to get fucking some Rogue weights, which are legit.
Wait, which ones?
Rogue.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. And then he's like, oh, I'll sell these back to you though. I'll sell these to you. And I'm like, for a cheaper price. I'm like, all right. So yeah. Anyway, enough about me.
That's cool. I'm getting back into it too. I'm gaining some weight, so that's good. Or at least that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Gain some weight, but keep the speed a little bit,
Yeah, for sure. You need the speed.
Yeah, I need that. But yeah, gaining some leverage too. So we'll see how that all works. But did you see the fight card? The freaking fight cards. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, let's just get into it.
Because it's 3 title fights. It's insane.
Those are always crazy. Like, something's gonna happen in terms of either all 3 champs are gonna keep their belt, right? And that's amazing, right? Because you're like, these are fucking the elite.
Yeah.
Or somebody gets fucking overthrown and it's like, oh, it's a new era.
It's insane. It's insane. And the lead up to this was crazy.
Yeah.
We had our verdict picks. I had really good verdict picks. We could even start it from the top. Let's just start from the top.
I had verdict picks that I didn't actually put in. So
yes. Yeah, no. And this was the one to put in 3 times.
I know. Dude, and I would have got some points, but I ended up getting I got no points.
And my bad, because usually it's me that reminds you.
I thought I did it though.
Yeah. I've done that before too. I've done that like on a few cards where you think you have it.
Yeah.
Or because you look at it, right? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna put these in. And then you come up with the things in your head and you're like, oh, they're in my verdict.
Yeah, and then I close the app.
You close the app, and then the day comes and you're like, oh, I'm getting all these picks, and you look in it like when it's live and you already missed like 3 or 4.
Well,
picks.
dude, I was fucking telling you, I missed all of the fights except for the last 2 because I was like, oh shit, it's Saturday, it's gonna be fight time. Mm-hmm. And then we were celebrating my sister-in-law got a job upgrade, so we're like, oh sick, cool.
Hey.
And then they stayed a little longer, and by the time I knew it, it was 9, and I was like, what, I was supposed to do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And I clicked on the fights. I was like, and then I was like, oh shit, Amanda's already fucking fighting.
Yeah.
So, but I'm up to speed with what happened. So we're good.
So, well, let's start from the top. From the top. And it was champ against champ on the top, the main event. It was.
So we're going up to bottom? Okay.
Let's do up to bottom. Right. Let's just do up to bottom. Izzy Adesanya. Because that's the way. Everyone wants to talk about that.
Well, let's go.
Champ against champ. Who did you have going into this fight?
I had Izzy, and I thought for sure he was gonna win. Mm-hmm. And then when I watched Dan Hardy's fucking breakdown, before I was like, oh, for sure he's gonna win. Because Dan Hardy, his breakdowns of fights is fucking legit. You're a huge.
I love Dan Hardy, and I think he just got dropped from the UFC as a commentator.
Really?
Yeah, he just got dropped earlier this afternoon. Yeah.
For what? You don't know?
For being the way he is, probably. For being the way he is, for being like all super passionate because about this fight. We'll get into it.
Okay.
But that's another thing I wanted to get into that Dan Hardy does not do that I think happened in this instance, but. Like you said, you saw the last 2 fights. So you saw this fight, right?
But yeah, I mean, I went back and I saw what I needed to see.
Okay.
I had Izzy.
Oh, you had Izzy going into it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how did you have him winning?
I had actually. So the way I had it was knockout in the 3rd.
Knockout in the 3rd. Wow.
I had knockout in the 3rd, right? Okay. Because of who Izzy is, right? Mm-hmm. The way he picks people apart.
Right.
And dude, the way he's been knocking fools out in the last 3 fights, right?
Right.
I think it's 2. But anyway, and then when I saw, Dan Hardy's breakdown, I was like, oh, for sure, dude. I saw, what is it? His opponent's weaknesses in terms of like how he's going to be able to get John to bite on things, and we were watching that, right? You can see that, how Izzy moves and stuff. You could see him. I mean, I saw there was a lot of
see him trying. I could see
no,
him trying.
but even when he wasn't, right, when he was throwing the feints and stuff, you could see Blachowicz just
biting.
just like, oh, like I'm gonna put my hands up here.
Yeah, they made a big deal of him fainting from everything, and he was fainting, but when he was throwing, I mean, Yan was also throwing back. I mean, okay, so let's get into it. So I had Yan winning in the fight. Okay. I had him also winning by knockout in the third.
Okay.
And I had him. The reason I went with Yan is because normally I would go with Izzy, and the reason normally I would go with someone like Izzy is because the same reason that I would go with someone like Amanda Nunes or like a Khabib. How do you go against like 100%? How do you go against like always winning? Like he just always wins. How do you go against that?
It's hard to bet against
it. Like I would never bet against Khabib at this point. You know what I mean? But for this particular case, I feel like Yan, he's been the underdog, and I believed that he's the underdog too many times. Too many times. And the one time where I saw him fail, it was against Thiago, you could see that he made a mistake. You could see he knew the mistake. And after he gets knocked out, because he got knocked out, he knew. He like got up and he was like, dang it, like, and he was even laughing about it. Like, I know what I did wrong. And now he's way more technical. He's way more cautious. And I feel like he's one of those fighters that he knows he's not like the fastest or the greatest jiu-jitsu guy or whatever. He adjusts to his fighter with his own way of fighting.
Yeah, he plays to his strengths. Yeah.
Very, very Usman-like. Very Usman-like. Very, very like that. Like he adjusts to every fighter, but still fighting his way, Thompson fights this way, where it just doesn't matter who the opponent is. They do their thing, and that's what they make. They make the world that, like what they want it to do. And so I felt like Yan, I couldn't go against that. And we were eventually going to see it. What he did to Dominic Reyes, people say beat John Jones. And I
feel so.
And yeah, I thought so too. I had given it to Dom. And so when I saw the Yan versus Dom, again, I went with Dominic Reyes because I saw the Dominic Reyes versus John Jones fight.
Yeah.
But then we saw what Yan did to Dominic Reyes. So then I'm done. And now we saw what he did to Izzy. And I'm done. I'm super done saying like, okay, that guy can't. How many times do we have to say that guy's gonna lose? How like at this point it's kind of dumb, right? Like at this point, now he beat Izzy. You can't be the same person saying Izzy was so dope, and then now Yan is not as dope. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I've never disliked him. I'm not like, oh yes, like I'm a huge fan or anything. But I mean, I was thinking this fool's crazy. Like he's good when and again, it was when he slept Rockhold.
Oh man!
Like, of course, obviously Rockhold was coming off, I think, a loss, and obviously he went up in weight, right? Mm-hmm. But like Rockhold, when in the right frame of mind,
is really dangerous.
Yeah, he was a champ. He's a former champ too, for a reason, right?
He's a champion.
Yeah. But I think he gets a little ahead of himself, and then that's where he loses. Like he got ahead of himself against Bisping, got knocked the fuck out. Yeah. Got ahead of himself against Jehovah and knocked the fuck out. But when this fool, I mean, dude, he broke his jaw. I mean,
Rockhold. That's the tough thing, right? Rockhold had a right to be cocky, but then when he reached these levels of cockiness is when he lost.
Like you're great, cool. You're a great fighter.
Yeah.
But now show us instead of saying I am a great fighter. And the last 2 times he tried, fucking wiped out.
what was it when Bisping tells him like see, believe, achieve, I'm gonna knock your ass out or shut the
Yeah, see,
fuck
and
up.
that was like, man, Bisping shouldn't have won that one. Had Rockhold,
What? What?
nah, I'm not a
Get
Bisping
out of
fan,
here.
man.
You don't even know what that's a
I'm
cat.
not a Bisping
You
fan,
know who's gonna come for you for that? The casual police. They're gonna get you for that. Bisping definitely deserved to win that. Yes, he did.
dude. Nah.
If he didn't deserve to win that, then you can't
No,
say
I
GSP
didn't say he
deserved.
didn't deserve to win it because clearly he won it because somebody made a mistake. But what I'm saying is he wouldn't have won that if Rockhold was in his frame of mind to just win and
Yeah,
not
but
saying like I already beat you, fucker, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
that's can you answer the call? That's the question. Can you answer the
Yeah,
call?
but here's my thing. Like, and this is what I mean by this. Obviously, Bisping won, right? He was the better fighter, right? But 9 times out of 10, I think Rockhold beats him.
Yeah, it's almost like the Yan and Izzy fight here, right? Because it's like technically speaking, Izzy is the more technical
Yeah,
striker, but then we saw him getting outstruck. And you know what's
I
crazy?
don't know if he got outstruck so
Dude,
much
look at
though.
the numbers and go rewatch that fight
Yeah,
with the commentary off, please.
you know what's funny
Please,
is I actually
please.
watched it with it off because my
Good.
my brother-in-law and my wife were watching a movie and I was watching as I was watching both, right, trying to watch both, but I was watching the fight mostly. And so yeah, I couldn't hear what was going on. So I was just judging it based off of what I was seeing. And I'm not saying that Jan wasn't connecting and throwing hard hits,
You saw the
but
stats, right? That they put up?
I didn't see the stats.
See, there you go. Because the
I
stats
didn't see
had
the stats.
because
But
the
what I'm
stats
saying,
had him outstriking him, and also what you saw. You know what was crazy?
but
What I
was it
got
was
mad.
was it just outstriking him or was it significant strikes as well?
So what would happen was this. What would happen was this. Let's say you're Izzy or whatever. We don't have to say that, but
Yeah,
so Izzy would flicker jab, would throw a
yeah,
flicker jab,
yeah,
and and tap Yan,
yeah,
and they'd be like, "Oh, there's that jab," and then Yan would connect like a little bit with the same power or maybe harder, like
yeah,
more, more on target with one or two shots.
yeah.
They wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, see,
It's silent.
I didn't hear it, so
No, and then you know what was so annoying? What was so
mhm.
annoying was that I had Izzy maybe winning the first round, but I gave it to Yan. But maybe winning the first round, but I gave it to Yan. And then I had Yan definitely winning the second. I had Izzy definitely winning the third. He
Yeah,
definitely won the third. And then I had Yan winning the fourth if you saw the fight. But
yeah, yeah,
so what was crazy is I didn't agree with this, but this is where the proof of the bias, and you can now, since you're saying you saw it without the commentary,
yeah.
watch it with the commentary now to prove to, so now
Mhm.
you know that I'm right. But and usually this is a commentary team that I defend when people say
Yeah,
are biased. This
yeah.
exactly,
Cormier, Rogan, right?
and yeah, and
Yeah.
Anik and all these guys, like normally people are saying that they're biased, and I'm always like defending them. But this
Okay.
time I was like, dude, you can go back and watch the fight. They'll say going into the fifth round, so the 4 rounds had happened.
Yeah.
They say it's tied up 2-2. If you said you saw the fight, there was a Izzy may have won. Then at the end of the fifth round, they were like, "Oh, this could go either way. I don't know how this could go."
Yeah.
Wait, you said it was tied up, and then did you watch the fight? What? Did you
Yeah.
watch the? That's when I got really mad because at first I thought they were being biased. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, maybe I'm just biased, and I'm a homer for Jan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. So, but what confirmed that they were being biased was that when they were like, "Oh, it's tied up 2-2," which I didn't agree. But let's say we agree with that.
Yeah.
You saw the fight, right? You saw the fifth round.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so Jan clearly won that. Izzy did not win that in any way. In
No, yeah,
any way.
I had Jan winning the fourth and fifth for sure.
Yeah.
But
So,
I also
uh,
I had him winning was it the third? I had him winning the third. I had him winning the first. Wait, was it the third? Yeah.
no, you had Izzy winning the third. You
That's
had
what I'm saying.
Izzy.
Yeah.
Izzy for sure won
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
third.
saying. Izzy winning the third,
Yeah, yeah.
Izzy winning the first three. So again, again, I was watching it, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't like fully paying attention because I had, I was
Oh yeah,
trying to
yeah.
watch a movie at the same
Mhm,
time. That's
mhm,
why I said when I had texted you, I said I got him the first three, you
mhm,
know.
mhm.
And you're like, did you watch the fight? I'm like, yeah, I was watching it, but at the same time, sound was off, which obviously to you didn't play a factor anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but I
yeah,
was like this, I was like watching it. Oh, okay, like that, looking
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
No,
there's things I could have missed, right?
you had to watch
Yeah,
Jan getting his work in. It was crazy.
but
But the
regardless, let's say at this state at this point in juncture, okay, Jan won, right? It was a great fight, right?
Mhm, mhm.
I felt it was Izzy, but regardless, I didn't see something too drastic to where I was disappointed that Jan won. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I was being biased about Izzy, and say now he won for sure, blah blah. It wasn't a robbery in my mind, obviously,
No,
because it,
no,
it
no,
wasn't,
right.
right. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
oh,
Like
you're saying like if you were even an Izzy fan.
I am an Izzy fan, and I
Yeah,
had Izzy winning, right?
yeah.
But when it turned out he didn't win,
Mhm.
I wasn't like, what?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
No,
Like
but
maybe
that's
there's some
that's
stuff I didn't see,
but what I'm saying is the if you go back and watch the commentary, you'll
Yeah,
see because that
yeah,
doesn't even make sense. That
yeah.
doesn't
No,
even
no,
make
and
sense.
I get what you're saying. I heard the commentary for the last round, and I
Yeah,
heard them saying, fuck,
this
what were
could
they
go
saying?
either way.
Yeah, but they also said like, yeah, they were saying like, Izzy needs to get up, or else this could go the other way. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I remember hearing that,
And I
but
was like, "What? What? Of
yeah,
course it go what? I don't know.
but it was a great fight, regardless.
It was an awesome fight. It was amazing masters at fighting.
Yeah,
Like
I,
they
I
were
I could see Izzy was in that fifth round was slowing down.
mhm, mhm,
That's why that takedown. I mean, obviously he had no real answer for the takedown anyway,
mhm,
because his jujitsu needs a little work, right?
mhm.
But
You know
you
what's
know,
funny is that he got his purple belt from Andrew Galvao, the guy who got smacked by Gordon Ryan the few
see,
weeks ago.
maybe that's why you need a little work,
Maybe
right?
that's why
You need a little work.
because that's what he got it from Atos. That's where
Yeah.
Izzy got his freaking jujitsu.
But see,
His,
this was always a thing when I was watching Izzy to start, and
yeah,
obviously he's grown since then. But I was always like, damn, dude, if he gets on the ground, that's going to be his kryptonite,
right, right.
Um,
But that was part of Jan's plan was
yeah,
not to go to the obvious so early.
yeah, and I
That was
heard him saying that,
genius.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
genius. It was genius.
yeah, and I
Not,
heard him say that,
it was so
Um,
good. I love that. I
but
love
but
that.
regardless, I enjoyed the fight. I
Mhm.
liked how they were both, they were like happy to see each other at the end. They
They
were
were.
joking around.
They were cool because they're
Yeah,
champions. And
yeah,
he's still gonna go back down and dominate at
yeah,
middleweight and
and
dominate. He's gonna
yeah, and then
break records down there. You
yes,
know?
hopefully, yeah. And then Jan was like, I thought he was gonna be fast with not that much power. It
Mhm.
turned out that he wasn't as fast, but
Mhm.
he had more power.
And you could tell because that's what I'm saying about the first round. That's why I had Jan winning because Jan, I felt tapped Izzy a lot more, but there was that one exchange by the cage where
Yeah,
Izzy threw a hook
yeah,
and Jan barely got tapped. There was like
yeah.
almost no power, and
And
you
he
could
got
see
wobbled, right?
Jan go
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
whoa!" And,
yeah,
and I was like, I was even like yelling, like one punch changed the whole fight. The dude
yeah,
barely tapped him, and
yeah,
and Jan is a tank, and so for to see that respect given right
yeah,
after that hook, I was like, oh man, Izzy could put him out also. Like this
yeah.
could go either way the entire time. I was so anxious watching that fight. It was
Mhm.
so great. It was so great because I
Yeah.
was super anxious
Yeah,
watching the fight.
so was I. But and the crazy part is I felt like Izzy, and I think he kind of touched on this, but I feel like he wasn't throwing as many kicks, upper kicks as he normally did. Like,
Of course, because he
right?
was worried about the
Yeah.
takedown.
Yeah, for sure. But like even like I just didn't see a range of versatility with the kicks. Like not even, you get what I'm saying? Like sometimes he'll throw them out just to test, and just to get you like, oh shit, I gotta back up, Like he throws the question mark kicks or the fucking side kicks,
But he was throwing those. He was throwing the hook kicks. He was throwing the question
Yeah.
marks. Jan caught them a lot of times. He caught
I
them on
just
his hands.
I felt like I just didn't see the volume, is what I'm saying. And then I get it, because he's probably he was worried about the takedown, but I don't know.
But
There was just I felt like there was a piece missing, and he kind of said that there was something that he just wasn't, doing or whatever. But
yeah, but I agree, but I think they weren't working. I think when he was throwing them,
yeah,
Jan was catching because
yeah,
every time I saw him linger that midway by his waist and
yeah,
then snap it up, I was like,
yeah,
oh, but Jan would catch it every time, and I
yeah. But
didn't
the
think
thing is, even catching those, it's not fun. You know what I'm saying?
no, and I agree. But what I'm saying is, he did throw them, and he didn't really land flush any time that he threw
Yeah.
them. So,
So you,
so that's why maybe he turned down the volume in that, and
yeah,
just kind of kept throwing them as like I can throw them,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
didn't really do anything. And then when the gas started to become a problem, Jan kicked in with the wrestling.
yeah.
And man, that was masterclass. I had Jan winning. I thought he was gonna knock him out with the power just because I saw how he hit Dominic Reyes, and Dominic
Yeah.
Reyes got hit by John Jones.
Yeah.
So
But
I
you
don't
have
know.
to catch Izzy in order to hit him. And
That's
that's the
the
thing.
thing,
People think he can't take hits because he took hits from
dude.
Gastelum,
And
you know? Yeah.
Whitaker. I was even thinking, dude, he's especially after that hook that I just said.
Yeah.
Even after that hook, I thought, man, that's basically what he did with Whitaker. Was that that's why people trying to say, like, I'm not a huge I'm a fan of what Izzy does in the
Yeah.
octagon.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of what he does in the octagon. I don't like how he is on the mic. I think he's overrated. There's a lot of times where I feel like he's a little cringy, like where
Yeah.
he 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 self-proclaims that he's being cool in a way. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, so sometimes it just weirds me out. But
Yeah.
this you have to respect. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, not only did he go up and test his whatever, test what he has against another champion, not just another contender,
Yeah.
not just another contender, a champion in another division. And you have to say this: it must take a spectacular champion to be able to do that. You can't
Yeah.
just be a champion. Look at Khabib. Khabib is a spectacular champion who had the option, but he didn't do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So even these, like, these spectacular champions, I'm saying it takes spectacular to even have the choice to be
Mhm.
able to go up or not.
Yeah.
Max Holloway, he went up and tested
Yeah.
his stuff against Dustin Poirier. But the fact is, you have to be Max Holloway to be able to go up. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like,
Oh, for
it's
sure.
not, you can't just be a champion and then start
Yeah.
doing whatever. Or I guess McGregor did that. McGregor
Yeah.
got
But I
it
mean, but
better.
he backed most of it up.
But he was spectacular. I mean, the way
Yeah.
that he put all the. What I'm saying is, you got to be spectacular. A
Yeah.
Conor McGregor. There is no other Conor McGregor, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you got to be Conor McGregor. You got to be
Yeah.
like an Izzy Adesanya to be able
Yeah.
to go against a Jan Blachowicz. Look at John Jones. John Jones is now doing it.
But
John Jones was
yeah. But
talking trash, but we got to wait and see your turn now.
yeah.
Like,
But here's also the thing with John Jones. He relinquished his belt.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like I want to be. He wasn't double champ. Even if he wins, right? Let's say he wins. Let's say. Well, what I'm saying is he isn't current champ at lightweight. He doesn't have a belt. So yeah, you're saying, like, yeah, it takes a special person to get up into the next category. But
right.
John Jones never tried to do that when he was champ. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but there's not even many people that have done that. That
That's
have,
what I'm
that
saying.
have had two belts in two divisions.
Yeah, but I'm saying John could have done it had he wanted to. I think because he had the belt and he could have easily been like, hey, you know what? I want to do this. Because even when Connor did it, he
Mhm.
still didn't do that.
Yeah, but you know why I think he didn't want I think he didn't want to, is because of who's at heavyweight right now.
Yeah,
I think if it was I think right now there's two guys that it takes all of your attention. I really
yeah.
don't. I think you have to be super focused. You can't have another weight, another belt on your. I don't know, with these like Stipe and
But that's
and
what I'm saying. Like, all these other dudes aren't worried about
Well, DC did it, I guess, right?
Yeah,
DC
that's what I'm
did
saying.
it.
DC
Yeah,
did it.
yeah, yeah.
There's
DC
people
did
who
it.
did it. All right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
they
You can't
did it.
make an excuse for someone who could have done it and didn't do it.
I'm just saying, having two belts at two titles, and John Jones wasn't the normal carrier of a normal belt. I mean, he's gone through 3 generations of entire eras of
That sounds
fighting.
like an excuse to me, though.
No, I'm not saying an excuse. It's called the
Yeah.
truth. He's done
Yeah.
it. He's gone through 3 eras of
Okay.
fighting.
No, I'm saying though. Yeah, but
Hard stop.
no. Yeah,
And,
that's fact. But
Mhm.
what I'm saying is, and
and yeah.
no, because
He's probably one of the greatest to ever fight of all time. And
what I'm saying is this. But what I'm saying is this.
Mm.
If you're a champ, like it's one of these things to be like, oh shit, I never thought about that. I never thought to be double champ. Conor thought about it before he was a champ.
Yeah.
You know, and then he became a 2-time champ and then said, you know what, I'm gonna do that in the UFC now. Right?
Yeah.
So he thought about it, did it twice.
Yeah. After
that, people started thinking like, shit, I want to be that great. I want to be synonymous. But John Jones never made that leap, right? And it's and again, yeah, he's a killer, killing fools in this division for 3 generations. Awesome. But how come it never dawned to where like, hey, I want to start killing in this other league?
Neither did GSP.
No. You know who did that though? Before it was a thing? Anderson Silva. You know? He never fought for a title.
No.
Because they probably didn't think about giving him one, or you know, he didn't think to be like, yo, I want to fight a dude.
The UFC didn't push it either a lot. The UFC didn't really push it either.
Exactly. So, but what I'm saying, in the era where people are pushing it, John Jones could have made a claim easy, but didn't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, so did Khabib, and Khabib's in the talk of greatest of all time.
Yeah,
and
so that's what I'm saying. So it takes us not just a spectacular champ, like you're saying. It takes somebody who's willing to do it or try. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why John Jones didn't want to try doing that. I don't know why Khabib doesn't want to try doing
that. But John Jones is trying to do that. He's a heavyweight right now.
But without a belt, he got rid of his belt.
Yeah, right. But so GSP gets credit for having 2 belts in 2 different divisions, and he's the greatest of all time, and people are talking about it because of the 2 belts. He's only in the conversation because of the 2 belts. So once John Jones obtains, if he, this is a hypothetical, but if he obtains the heavyweight belt, he would be one of the greatest, if not the greatest champion of all time in light heavy. You know what I mean? And
I'm just saying to have 2 belts at the same time. I'm wondering why he didn't do that. If he, like, John Jones could have done that. You know what I'm saying?
No. I think the ability is there, but what I'm saying is I don't hold him really that. I mean that we're already talking about greatest of all time. I think if he gets a belt in heavyweight,
for sure,
he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I think he just is. I think the conversation stops. You know,
asterisks.
Yeah, asterisks a little bit. Yeah, a few of those.
But anyway, regardless about that guy, I mean, now it sucks that we probably won't see Izzy versus Jones because of this, you know?
Because of this, it stinks. Unless Izzy come back and
I don't see the real estate unless John Jones loses a heavyweight.
Right.
Then I could see like, oh, okay, hey, you didn't do good at the next level either. So
right.
You want to talk some shit? Let's go, you know? I think that's where it would still happen. But at this point, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. I do like what he did. I respect it, you know. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think it does take a spectacular champion to do it. I think you need to be willing to be great, you know. And it's a 2-person sport in there, you know, like you're fighting against another great champion. Yan is yet to be great. He's also daring to be great by fighting Izzy, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy because I saw in the comments people were like talking shit. Obviously John Jones too, he has more of a reason to, but people were talking shit about Izzy, and it's like the casuals are like, this fool's whack, had no chance. It's like, what? But he took a chance regardless, like you're saying, like,
and he did well.
Yeah. He got 5 rounds, you know, almost won maybe, you know, but
the fight was good. It was a good fight. I had Yan winning, and I had him clearly winning, but you know, I won't agree with the judges' scorecards. So I'm eating a candy.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's sweet and it's tart.
Okay.
You know, we don't want to get copyright.
No, I know which one.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I had Yan winning. I thought the commentary was a little biased, but it stinks because I normally like that commentary.
Yeah,
You know.
it is what it is, and you know.
But yeah, but I was gonna say I respect Izzy for what he did.
Mhm.
And I think he's gonna be a great champion at go back and reign with the fist, like you
Yeah,
said, you
yeah.
know. So we'll
So
see.
so yeah, so there's that,
Mm-hmm.
and then if we're going back down the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy because you would think like, oh, the main fight was the greatest, you know, and it was a great fight, you know. But I mean, you go Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, I mean, Amanda is a beast. I mean, obviously you know that I've said it many times. I'm like, dude, but just to show like just to sweep through people like with ease. And
I
she's a
hope
two-time champ
she's what you're talking about.
currently.
You're talking about
Yeah.
like greatest of all time. Amanda Nunes, I think, is the greatest of all
She
time.
has 2 belts simultaneously.
And no. It's not just 2 belts simultaneously. She has 1 belt and then she has a division with no rankings. They don't have rankings for 145. There's no rankings. They took it off. There's no
Yeah.
rankings. Go look at the rankings. We look at the rankings. Are there even
I didn't
rankings?
I didn't know
I'm
that.
just saying there's no ranking.
Yeah.
There's no need for rankings at 145 right now.
Yeah.
Megan was so far. Like
Yeah.
not so
Yeah.
far, but she was like clearly above everybody. And then we saw what happened. We
Yeah.
saw what happened, and that was just
Dude,
crazy dominance. I think the
like,
only fight left to make for her is this. There's 2 options for her,
yeah,
right?
I already know what you're gonna
You know
say.
where I'm going with this because so wait, let me finish though.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm going with this. I
Preach on.
want her to keep making money at 145. And this is
Okay.
how they make money at 145. And the UFC won't ever do it because they always act like they're like above this, you know,
Yeah.
or like classier than this. I'm pretty sure that's even though they have the UFC, we had the Ultimate Fighter. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is what they could do is say screw it, just for fun. At least at 145, give Amanda a break.
Yeah.
And do a Grand Prix for that division only for a 145.
Okay.
That way we see a few fights and we get to kind of by default see themselves build someone up through a tournament, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of by the end of it, we'll respect whoever wins 3 fights on their way up of this tournament to fight Amanda or whatever. And that way Amanda gets a break at 145. She gets to fight still a tough opponent, but you know, we still know she's gonna win and most likely dominate. While she's doing that, she could, because I want her to still make money, and that's easy money for her, and I don't want the division to go away.
That's nice of you, man. You're really thoughtful.
No, I'm not paying her, shoot, and I'm not making any money off of it. I'm not.
No, I know, but it's really thoughtful of you. I want her to continue doing well and having money in her pockets.
Yeah, why not? What?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I mean, as sarcastic as it sounds, but
Dude, did you see that? Did she get hurt at all? She got
no. I don't think she even fought in there. I think that was like her shadow, like her fucking time trial.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was within the first round, within the first minute, 2 minutes, whatever.
But who do you have her fighting then? Go ahead, finish the.
Okay, so I have her going back down to 135, which is still also not Valentina's weight class, but maybe Valentina can meet her there. You know, but Valentina has said that she wants to reign with an iron fist in her division also.
Which is good, yeah.
Which she already has, I feel like.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I feel like the only real fight that all of us, really the dream fight, is her and Valentina, you know.
Yeah, for a third
That's
time,
really the fight that we want to see. And I would like to see that Grand Prix, and at least and Megan can. I mean, I would respect her again if she wins it again. If she wins a tournament like that and knocks people out, let's say, you know, like comes back with this.
There's definitely a chance to gain you know, for all the other fighters, right?
Yeah. I think that would be a clever way to do it. But
Yeah.
UFC won't do it. We know that. But
No. And I
UFC,
mean, we saw what happened to Megan. I mean,
yeah.
like I think she got hit and she
Oh,
realized who she
oh,
was in there with.
yeah.
You
It
know,
was
and
over.
then she just couldn't recover. Like,
Did you see? Well, recovered. Did you see when she was on one leg, like she got
yeah, well, yeah,
clipped and then was on one leg standing.
yeah.
You know, I
And
don't
then
know.
the
It was done after that.
submission, dude. I
Oh
mean,
my goodness, it was done. It was done. What was that? It was a triangle armbar and a kind of choke. Like it
it's
was like
like,
three different snaps
yeah.
in one
Who are?
snap
It's like this.
within seconds.
Raise your hand if you want to get out of here. Just like me.
Yeah,
Me.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy. It was
yeah.
nuts. The gap was so.
Yeah. I think for Amanda, it's now how fast can I get you out of here?
Right.
You
How
know?
fast can I be home for dinner? Like
Yeah,
with my
like
kid now. I want to go home to my kid. Now
yeah,
that she has the kid,
yeah.
you know, she's like she's
It's
fighting.
like, dude, it's her bedtime, or I gotta go.
I'm just saying because Megan was also destroying people. Like
Yeah,
the gap is just so large. It's so
and it's
crazy.
crazy. It's awesome as a not a casual fan. When you're
Yeah.
not a casual fan,
Mm.
you love this
You love it. You love it.
you're just like
Whoa.
how dominant can one person be?
Yeah, and you want her to keep going. That's what
Yeah,
I'm trying to say. Why not? Why not keep letting her raise the record? Why not
yeah,
for the next person? Let her keep raising the record.
yeah.
It's not her fault that she's in this. It's almost
All
like when people say like the Wilt Chamberlain isn't as great because of his era. No,
yeah,
it's Wilt Chamberlain. Like that's his era. That's where he
yeah. He
was
scored
alive.
100 fucking points.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. He still scored the
Yeah,
points. He still put it
yeah.
in the basket.
People got close,
Yeah,
but yeah.
it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
and then, I mean, and I understand it because the asterisk is like, well, who else was he gonna pass it to? Come on, like
Yeah,
who else,
yeah.
But at the same time, I can also understand because I just thought about it right now. I'm team Amanda, all right. So I'm like, dude, keep going, fucking keep going.
Same.
But the same thing could have been said when Ronda Rousey was dominating everybody, right? I wasn't a Ronda Rousey fan because I didn't like that she was only armbarring people. You know what I'm saying?
That's not why I
And
was not
well, I didn't like several things, but I also didn't like the one trick pony aspect, right?
right.
But that's biased because if it was Amanda, I'm sure I probably wouldn't care as much. But I do like, maybe I would, because I like Amanda is beating people in different ways, just picking them apart versus you knew it was here comes the sweep, here comes the trip or whatever, and then boom, here comes the judo throw into an armbar,
Right.
game over.
Right.
So it was kind of like, it wasn't anything like, oh shit. It was more like, oh shit, she got it again.
Yeah, that was an aspect that that didn't bother me too much about her. I just thought that, like you because of that, you knew the sport was eventually going to catch up if they let it.
Yeah.
If they let it, like the sport's going to catch up, like the kicks are going to be needed, and that's,
I just like the versatility,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And,
that's what I'm saying. And that's gonna happen. That happens early on in the sport. That was like the early stages of MMA for women's sports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
If you think about it, they're in a different era. Like that's a different era.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
The men's sport. It's like it's different pacing.
But I feel like now it's caught up to where it's just MMA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's still a little different. The fight style is still a little different. But
I wouldn't say so much that it's different. I guess for me, I think it's just that the level of competition isn't there yet.
Right.
Exactly. It's still a male-dominated sport. Like,
but that's only it, and it's not any insult or anything. It's
for sure.
It's only a fact that the male UFC divisions have been going on for longer.
Yeah, and that'll all change. Like it'll be neck and neck at some point. But
right.
But yeah, that's why you have these standouts where it's just like everyone's great.
Right.
But then you have the elite in the female division.
No,
where it's
and
like,
the female divisions are catching up, and they're catching up at a rapid pace. Like you said, they're going to be caught up soon. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is a fact that they've been just doing it longer. There's more trial and error, and and eventually you're going to get more trial and error with the female sports and stuff like that.
I want to use that key phrase as the segue.
To
the trial and error.
Oh my goodness.
Because we're gonna go down,
dude,
to the champ Petr Yan.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Against Mr. Aljamain Sterling, right?
Okay, so who did you have going into that fight? Let's talk about it. Who
I had Aljamain
going into that fight. Huh?
Aljamain.
You had Aljamain? I had Aljamain going into that fight too.
Yeah.
And so watching that fight, Aljamain was losing that fight.
Yeah. And I'd asked you, like, what did you rate it? Were they 10-8s or were they 10-9s? And you're saying 10-9s.
I thought it was an amazing fight. Regardless, I thought it was a great fight. Mm-hmm. And I had it 10-9 rounds. I had Peter winning, Petr winning, or Yan, whatever.
Yeah.
I had him winning. And like we all know, Aljamain is now the champion by disqualification.
What?
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And so we could talk about it. And so
like, I don't understand, because his corner was telling him this, right?
No. So listen. So there's a difference between, let's say if you're my corner.
Yeah.
I'm the champion of the world in this sport. I'm the best.
Yeah.
At this sport. And you tell me that it's okay to hit him, because technically it is okay to hit him. You can uppercut him, you can throw him down, you can start hitting, you can hit him. So even if the corner did say, hey, it's okay to hit him, it was okay to hit him. That wasn't wrong. It's not okay to knee him in the face. And so that was really bad. And so let's get into that. So Aljamain was losing the fight. I felt that it was clear that he was probably going to lose the fight. Anything could happen in a fight.
Yeah, for sure. And but at the point of this fight, it looked like it was just going to continue this way, and he was going to lose.
And he was eventually going to lose. And yes, we've seen fighters pull out stuff out of, like I said, I'm throwing that in there. But
Misha Tate, man. Losing 4.5 rounds and then fucking gets a submission.
The legendary Anderson Silva. I don't like talking about it, but he beat
Chael Sonnen.
He beat the legendary, undefeated Chael Sonnen.
So many wrongs in that sentence, but go ahead. But anyway, so it looked like it was just gonna end with Yan retaining, right?
It looked like it, yes, and that's what it looked like. And you could see, it's just crazy because I'm watching, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching, and then I say, oh, he better not knee him. And right when I say,
that wasn't even a thought.
Huh?
That wasn't even a thought in my head.
What? No, he was clear because he's looking at him. He's in the.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like in my mind, like watching it, you're saying he better not, right? Mm-hmm. And in my mind is, why would he?
Oh, because he hates him. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, there's such a clear shot. And Aljo had already done that like 3 times before.
Yeah, he was already warned, and
he had already done that. No, it wasn't warning. You were allowed to do that. You're allowed. What happened was Aljo, so they would end up, he was already losing the fight. So let me explain. So he was losing the fight. But Aljo was kind of tapping him too, right? It was pretty close. And like I said, it was 10-9 rounds. If even if you say that was a point down, it could have been a tie fight, even though the fight was going to go down for the next round, probably. Mm-hmm. At that point, let's say the DQ is only a point away. It would be a tie fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously the next round, then Aljo would have lost and then whatever. But at that point, technically speaking, let's say we take a point away and not DQ him, which you have to DQ him at that point. But anyways, Aljo, what was crazy was they started with their hands.
Yeah.
And Petr was tapping him up, man. He was tapping him up. And Aljo was kind of getting some back, but they weren't landing. Kind of like how Izzy was with Yan, like Jan Blachowicz, like not really getting them, but kind of like flickered, getting some contact. But it was clearly Petr that was throwing with aggression and power, So then Aljo starts going for the wrestling, and you think, okay, here's the game. Nope. Petr not only evens and cancels it out, he dominates Aljo in wrestling. That was crazy. At one point, he grabs his the top of his like throat, his face area, you know, just grabs him and then like flicks his foot behind him, makes it look easy, just like, you know, like a movie throw, like just like standing right next to him like this, and tosses Aljo. Aljo's flips, boom. And he just boom, and then he starts freaking fighting him. Oh man, Piotr was putting on a masterclass. I didn't have him winning, but that was impressive to see. I was impressed with what Yan was doing. I was like, man, if he beats him, he earned this. Like for sure, he earned this. But like I said, Aljo was losing, so he would like to kind of like, you know, be defensive. He would get down, and then he had his knee on the ground, so you can't knee him. He had already done it like once or twice. And in this instance, I was even thinking like, oh man, he better not knee him. You slightly hear the ref say, "Don't knee him." Yeah. And then you hear something.
That's what I mean. He was warned. That's what I meant. He was warned.
Yes, like, he was intentionally warned. And then right after the ref says it, I said it. I was like, oh man, he better not knee him. You hear the ref said, "Don't knee him." Yeah. And then right after this, "Don't knee him," boom, knees Aljo in the freaking face. Aljo lives and then like is dazed, and the fight. Then he yells stop, and then the officials with the suit comes in. You know, that guy comes in, and then you see the ref talking to him. Yeah. And the ref he tells the guy with the suit, he's like, I told him don't throw the knee. Yeah. He threw the knee anyway. It was intentional.
Yeah, and they asked Aljamain, they asked him, what, you know, are you okay? What are you feeling? He's like, oh, it's better, you know, it's better if he's laying on his back, whatever.
He was not okay, man. Yeah. He was not okay. He was dazed. And so I'm glad. I was yelling, stay down, stay down, stay down.
At that point, like you can't leave it in the fighter's hands. After a shot like that, you can't leave it in the fighter's hands to be like, are you good?
Yeah, no.
Because they could feel good, but that's a different. You
know. But the rule states that you leave it up to the fighter. You do.
I know.
The fighter in the corner to do that. But
I think that should be left up to the corner more than the fighter.
Yeah, I agree, because you're concussed.
Yeah.
You're concussed. Because you're concussed. You're knocked out, basically. So why are you making decisions when you're knocked out? It should be an automatic, like especially a fight that changes the whole thing like that.
And if you were warned, yes.
Yeah. And so that's why, and me, I'm not a pro fighter. How did I know don't knee him? But the champion, the world best of the sport, doesn't know the rules to not knee a down fighter. Yeah. And then I was so mad because I saw, or not mad, but I was annoyed because I saw Demetrius Johnson, and he said something like, here's the thing. You can't stall the fight like that. Knees to a down fighter should be allowed. And I was thinking in my head, like, okay, great, that's a different conversation, but yes, you can, because as the rule states, you can have a knee down and you can't get kneed. Like, that's the rule. So
and it's not like fucking Yan couldn't, like you said, he couldn't. It's not, you can't knee him, but you could uppercut him.
You can
jab his face in, whatever you want right there.
Yeah, you can take him down. You can do whatever. You know what I mean? There's
just not the knee.
Just not the knee. Just not the knee. That's why that comment, I was like, wait, but okay, let's say we even agree with you. Right now, they're not. Just like bats aren't. Bats. I can't use a bat. Yeah. That's in the rules. If I come out and I use a bat and I crack you over the head, and then I'm like, oh no, but that was just one. So let me throw the bat out. Now let's fight. It's up to you. Do you want to fight? Oh, I'm still champion. I beat Saga, you know, even though he wanted to continue after a bat strike. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
I would continue after a bat strike, though. Yeah, but I would not be phased. I would not be phased by your bat strike. Just letting you know. It would be like this. Clonk. I want to continue. Yeah. Even though I don't know why my voice would change, but it would. And I would sound like Terminator.
The CTE has already kicked in from all of our sparring matches.
But no, So I don't know, man. That was like a very bad knee.
No, it was horrible. It was horrendous. And people are like criticizing Aljo, saying that he faked it. So who cares? Who cares if he faked it? Who cares if he faked it? Who cares? Let's say he's like macho or whatever the heck, and he says, okay, I'm going to continue to fight, right?
Yeah.
The fight is different. It's not 100% Aljo now. The fight is different. It's a different fight. So even if Petr Yan wins, did he really win? I mean, he got an illegal strike. So that's also just as cheap as him winning like that. And Aljo already said he wants to run it back, which is what you should do. Give him the belt and run it back. Period. That sucks. Who it sucks for most is Corey Sandhagen, who's ran through everybody and now deserves a title shot and now has to wait because Petr Yan doesn't know the rules of his own sport. You know what I mean? Or so that's horrible, right? Either he knows the rules of either he doesn't know the rules of his own sport, right? Horrible because he's the world champion, or he doesn't know the rules of his own sport and he did it on purpose, and then it's
which is even worse.
Which is even worse. So because what he could have thought, I mean, obviously this is just like, you know, spitting stuff out there, but what he could have thought is like, oh, I can clearly beat this guy. You know what I mean? Like if I beat him this way and I get DQ'd or whatever, then I'm gonna beat him in a rematch anyways.
Yeah, but why would you want to fuck with your money? You know
that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I don't agree. I don't think so. Maybe he hated him that much because there was a lot of beef going into that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know about messing with your bread, you know, but there was a lot of beef going into that fight. And like I said, I felt it in my gut when he had him like that. I felt it in my gut he was gonna knee him. That's why I was like, oh, it was different than the other times he had him like that.
Yeah.
It was different than the other. He had him like that like a few times. And then this last time I was like, oh, dude, he better not knee him. And he kind of like steps back and he's like, oh, boom, knees him.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think there's a debate. I think there's rules. He broke them. And then so now you just DQ him. And because it's not the WWE either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's the storyline.
I think a lot of fools like grew up watching the WWE too much. And what happened is that like they think that you can DQ yourself and retain your title. Like that's not if you're losing.
DX will come in.
Help you. DX, exactly. Like, oh no, dude, like someone tosses you some beers and you're like, you know. No, man, it doesn't work like that. Like if let's say a champion is caught using steroids, they take the belt away from him. They give it to the number one contender.
It's a cut and dry. It's you lost. You did something you weren't supposed to do. You either A, didn't know it and should have, or knew it and didn't give a fuck. And now you are beltless.
Now you're beltless. And now you have
the guy you were probably going to beat.
The guy you're probably going to beat.
Yeah. Know? So let's say you beat him, you know, in the rematch. Now it's not a title defense.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, you're new.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So that means you don't get that little stone in your belt.
That's right. That's right. No, and it really stinks. It's really sad because Aljo doesn't want to win it that way either.
No, you can see he was disappointed. He put the belt down. You know, he was like, "Fuck this."
He put the belt down, but then took it because at the same time, like people are criticizing him for smiling with the belt. I mean, he is champion. That's not his fault. Like, it's crazy. It would be like, you know what it's like? You know what these idiots are like? They're like, it's almost like blaming Evander Holyfield for getting his ear bitten off. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what? It's his fault for taking the win and thinking he's the champion. What?
Yeah.
What the?
Well, these are the rules. Yeah. It's like, it's not.
He bit his ear off. Like, why would you think, like, I don't know. Here.
Well, those are the casuals, man.
Exactly. It's just crazy. It's clear we don't do that. It maybe in one or in other, like Pride when they had that. And when they change the rules and you can do that, then I'm all for it. But as it stands right now, that's out of the realm of the rules. You get disqualified for that. So cool opinion, you know, like people like Demetrius Johnson, who is great, you know, that is great. That's a great opinion. But as of right now, it is still an opinion. It's not a fact that that's the rules. Right now, you can't knee a down opponent. Fact, you know, opinion. They should change the rules. Okay, cool. You can agree or disagree. That's an opinion. But the fact is, right now, you can't knee a down opponent. So, and his knee was down, and so he lost the belt, and it stinks. And it stinks for Corey Sandhagen because I feel like he's coming, man. He's coming for whoever is champion, you know. So we'll see. But that was a fun fight to see. That was my rant on that.
So then after that or before that, we had Islam, right?
Islam
versus Drew.
Makhachev against Drew Dober.
Yeah,
This
and
was
that
a
was
really fun fight.
yeah.
Fireworks.
Yeah, I
Fireworks.
mean, you can see the technicality fucking in Islam. Like, dude, that sweep with the fucking foot, dude. I
Dude,
watched it 3 fucking times, four
you
times.
you have you the crazy thing about that is that you have to understand that he went for a single leg takedown before that,
Mhm.
the same one,
Yeah,
and it didn't work. And so then he knew he was going to defend with his foot right there, plant his foot to the right against. So all he had
yeah,
to do was push him against the cage
yeah,
with the single leg, kind of press. And then when he put his leg there, that's when he hooked his leg and then
yeah,
dropped him. Oh my God, that was so. And then within that same like motion, armbar crazy, like it looks so much
yeah.
like Khabib. It was crazy. It was
Well,
like
yeah, I
watching like
mean,
a younger Khabib, fight against this crazy striker, Drew Dober, who loves to get it. He loves to
yeah,
get it, that guy, you know. So
yeah. And
that was
he controlled the match, right? Pressed the fight pretty much.
yeah, he controlled the whole match. And then the crazy thing is talking about the casuals is so you'll see on Twitter and like on Instagram or whatever, and you'll see people like, oh, so we got a tweet because while we were watching the fight, we
Yeah.
tweeted out that wow and hashtag Islam Makachev, and then
Mhm.
someone responded, and I didn't even respond because it was such a casual statement. I didn't even know where to start, and then it would have
Yeah.
sounded like such an explanation that I was like, this is insane. I don't even know. I really don't even know where to start. But he was saying, yeah, he laid on a guy, and he basically claiming that he laid and prayed, and we all know what laid and pray is.
Yeah.
But lay and pray requires that you go to decision. The fight was ended. He tapped the guy out.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
lay and pray? The fight ended. He submitted the guy. He
Yeah.
submitted the guy, and that's called mixed martial arts. Is that he has to learn how to like defend the takedown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's part of it. And so, and I would agree if that's all he did. But he stood with him and it was
Mhm.
pretty even. Even
Yeah.
with a striker like Drew Dober, Islam was able to be kind of fairly even with him and then took him down with ease. I would
Yeah.
agree with that comment. I wouldn't agree, but I would see where it's coming from, I guess I could say, if he only tried to take him down
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the takedowns were such battles and they were such grinds that it wasted lots of the time of the fight. But no, the takedowns were super easy for Islam. He took him
Yeah.
down like with ease. On the first attempt, he took him down. And so why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
No,
Because you want to see, you know what I mean? So dumb.
it's
And what you saw was master class. Was
yeah.
master class. Drew
It,
Dober had no answer, and he's a fighter that gets it, but he had no solution for Islam.
it's reminiscent of like Khabib when like yeah, like I'm not the biggest Khabib fan. I respect him,
Mm.
so but like his game plan is to smother you, you know
And,
anywhere it goes he's gonna take you down, that,
and
he's
he
not
can
waiting and praying that, oh, I'm just gonna lay on this dude. Yeah, he'll throw,
he'll
but he
throw.
knows I'm
You know,
taking you down,
hmm
and
hmm
there's nothing you can do about it,
nothing.
and I
No.
will beat you on the ground,
Yeah,
wrestling you until I get a submission,
yeah.
or I will beat you on the ground until I punch you out. Like,
It looked like Khabib so crazy. And
yeah,
you know what it looked like Khabib like you're talking about, more to what you're saying, is there was no answer. And
yeah,
that's one thing that you see that fighters fight against Khabib. There's no
yeah,
answer.
yeah. You can
Even
only
when
delay it.
there's
That's
only
it.
delay it, yeah, but
Yeah,
there's no answer. And
yeah,
and even the greats can only delay it for moments.
yeah.
Like Conor McGregor,
Well, four
Dustin
rounds, man,
Poirier,
for Connor.
Poirier, yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is
Yeah,
you can say maybe he gave him a round, but he got tapped. Dustin Poirier, he got
yeah,
tapped.
yeah,
Ali Quinta maybe did okay, you know what I mean?
yeah. But
Out,
they all got tapped. They all
but
lost.
it's all done. They're all
Yeah,
done. They're all zeros. They all added to the zero basically,
yeah.
for Khabib stuff. But this
So I
guy
mean,
is
yeah,
on the way. And DC, I've heard him say, Khabib, I've heard him say that Islam is going to be champion within 2 years. And
yeah,
and it's looking like it, man. It's
yeah,
looking like it. He's looking like a beast. He looked not tired at all by the end of that. You know
yeah.
what I mean? He looked completely fresh, like he could go again. You could put him in a fight like next freaking week.
And he might.
It's really nuts. I don't know. I love that fight. I thought it was not boring, but
Hmm. Yeah,
haters
I
gonna
mean,
hate.
again, casuals, right?
I just don't understand how you can relate it to like Jake Shields' Lay and Pray when
Oh.
there's no decision here. There's
Yeah. Or
no
GSP fucking.
yeah, GSP also did it, and GSP is regarded as one of the greats.
Yeah.
This guy finished the guy, and you're still gonna. I just don't like that narrative when because we already know there's people that only want knockouts and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it just stinks when that narrative comes from such a masterful performance on
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It's
I
just
mean,
so
there's a lot of people who just don't like the ground game, and that's it.
yeah,
When
and
things go to the ground, they're like, this isn't MMA. This is not fighting.
but that's what fighting. That's
Yeah.
what mixed martial art. It's the
Yeah.
whole fight. If you don't like that, then you can watch boxing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And boxing's pretty good right now too. So go watch boxing. But this is mixed martial arts. It's Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, anything that you can do. Legal within the sports.
Yeah.
Different divisions. One, Ryzen, UFC, Bellator,
Yeah.
PFL. They have different rules. Whatever. But within the rules, this is mixed martial arts. This is where you compete. Let's see, let's get it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's dope. But I thought Islam's performance was masterful. I'm excited to see him at the top 5 now. Give him a top 5 guy
For
now.
sure. Yeah. See how he ranks up after that.
See how
Yeah.
he ranks up, man. I'm down. Give him top 5. Yeah, I would say. He was like ranked 14, but after this performance, I wouldn't be mad with a jump. Bilal is jumping to fight Leon Edwards. I know it's a step in because of Khamzat not being able to fight. But still, if you think about it, Bilal Muhammad fighting Leon Edwards, that's a huge jump,
Yeah, for sure.
And Islam with this performance, I think can get a top 5, top 10 definitely for sure.
Yeah. Get him in the top 10. I wouldn't be mad if it's top 5.
Of course, I would.
But I would see it more of a top 10.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then the last fight on the main card.
Yeah.
Was Thiago Santos.
Thiago Santos.
Right?
Yeah. So who'd you have going into that fight?
So I had Thiago, right?
Okay. Me too. Also.
Yeah, but like I had him because, and again, I think this is my bias, and this is my problem, right? Was that I had him thinking that he was gonna be the Thiago that fought John Jones, the one that it was a good fight. Had he not fucked up his knee,
I agree.
It might be over, right? We might be talking about a different champ.
He won. You could even say that he won, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't win, but you could argue.
You could argue that at least even a draw, like if you want to, right?
With 2 blown out knees, mind you.
Yeah, 5-round fight.
No, you're not. You don't have to defend yourself for picking Thiago Sanchez against Rakic. You know what I mean?
But my thing is, and Thiago's coming off of a loss against what's his name? Old. What was it?
Glover Teixeira.
Yes, there you go. There he came off a loss of him, and I was surprised at that. Glover fucking still got it, and he should get his shot next, right?
Yeah, he should fight Jan Blachowicz now
for sure.
Yeah, and that's gonna be so fun too. Like old guys going at it.
Yeah,
well, not as old as Glover, but
no, for sure. But but yeah, so Thiago, I think after that knee injury, I don't think he has been the same, and I don't think it's weird because you don't have that much time to take off. Like he already had taken off like a year or something, and then he fought Glover, right? And lost. And I think it's just one of those things that you're just not going to be at that level, unfortunately, because of the issues, the injuries, and we've seen that in all across mixed martial arts, basketball, football, every sport. Like if you take a debilitating injury, sometimes you don't come back. Like there's athletes that it's like, dude, you had Achilles, look at Kobe, right? Came back from that, still was putting up numbers and still playing, right? But there's other people that are just like, sorry, you got that one chance and you got injured and that's it. Yeah. And that's it. Like you're just not the same. And I think he's one of those fighters that just is not the same.
I agree. We're and not to say that he's like, so bad. I mean,
no, he's not a bum.
The fight, the fight wasn't really that exciting. Rakic did win. He did say that he targeted the knee.
Yeah, that's always going to be a target.
Yeah, and he said that it was like he felt it was a little unfair, but I don't feel it was. I don't feel that's unfair. The knee is a target before he got injured. It's a target now that he's injured. I don't know. It doesn't become off limits because he's injured.
Yeah, I mean, it's a notable injury.
Yeah, if it's open, you go for it, you
Yeah,
know, and
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
yeah, I
So
could understand. He's probably like, it's fucked up that that's what I have to resort to.
yeah.
But I mean, that's the way it is, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, people talk about hitting the nose, which I have to aim for your face. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like I have to hit your knee because I have to because your knee is a point
yeah.
of hitting your body. So like,
But what do they say about the nose?
well, I've heard fighters say like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit that nose because we know like Nate Diaz's nose or like or
Oh,
Perry's
yeah, yeah,
nose.
yeah, yeah,
Perry's
yeah,
nose is so messed up, so they know
yeah,
like targeting specifically the nose will
yeah,
like cause blood or to maybe stop the
yeah,
fight or
for sure.
whatever."
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Okay,
no
yeah,
one talks trash about those fighters doing that. You know, maybe because that
yeah,
doesn't affect their ability to walk, you know? So I can see the
yeah,
difference there, you know? I can see that difference. But what I'm saying is it is then don't probably no, you have I can't say don't fight, you know, but like it's that's part of it. It's a target, is what I'm
yeah,
saying. You can't tell a fighter not to hit that because it's gonna hurt. Like
yeah.
that's the point of the game. He's trying to harm the other guy, you know.
What's
So
crazy is though, like I think out of all like the body parts, like targeting the knee, like it's fucked up even if you're healthy.
yeah, it
You know
is.
what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Because you're
It
trying to
is. It
fuck
is.
that part
It
up
is.
until
It
it
is.
no longer works.
It
And
is.
there's no
It is.
meat there.
There is
You know,
no
there's
meat.
no meat there.
No, it's just
So
like
it's fucked up.
ligaments. Ugh,
Yeah, it's fucked up to
ugh.
fight there anyway. You know,
It
to take
is.
the
It
fight
is.
there anyway,
You're
as
right.
we saw with Connor and fucking
Oh,
Dustin.
yeah.
You know, but that's the thing. It's in the game. It's part of the
Part of it.
rules. You
It's
can do
part
it.
of it. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
And
So
so, and yeah, I mean, and congratulations, Ratchet. You know, it wasn't super spectacular, but Thiago
yeah,
Santos is a
but you got
tough
it done.
opponent. So you got to do what you got to do. You know, the next fight that you know we should probably mention is Dominic
Cruz,
Cruz
Cruz. Yeah.
beating Casey Kenny in the
Mhm.
prelims,
Dominic still
but
has it in him, man.
he still has it in him.
Commentary,
Yeah,
commentator, and fighter.
he recently called out right after the fight, and Dominic he's been saying some stuff lately,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
he recently said something about right after this fight he said something about Hans Mellencamp, that guy that you know he does the sponsors for Monster and Triumph, I think Triumph like
The
gloves and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, okay.
So he does stuff like that, and he's always hanging out with like Chael Sonnen and all these fighters. But apparently, Dom is like accusing him of like forcing these fighters to hang out with him, like saying he'll like pull their sponsors if
Yeah.
he doesn't hang out with them,
That's
and like
fucked up.
making basically accusing him like, oh, just because I commented him on his post
Yeah,
and stuff, it's because like basically because I had to or whatever. It's like
yeah.
part of our kind of like our
So he's
agreement.
trying to blackball, or not blackball, but like blackmail them
No,
in
not
a way. So,
and not even. He straight up called out. He said, "Let's
yeah.
fight." He said, "I'll
Oh,
fight
okay.
Hans Mellencamp."
No, what I'm saying is he's accusing him of blackmailing people by saying like, "Hey, you don't want to hang out? I pull
Yeah,
your shit." Yeah,
basically. And he's
yeah,
saying he'll fight him. I mean, Hans Mellencamp is like a heavyweight or like a light
yeah,
heavyweight. And Dom is like, I'll fight him for charity.
yeah.
He's like, and the,
There
the
you go.
reporter even asked him, "Hey, is there an issue?" And he's like, "No, no issue. I just want to make money for charity."
That's good. Yeah,
He's so funny. He's so funny.
yeah.
He's like, "I have no issue. I have no issue with anybody." He's like, "Hey,
But I
I'm
mean,
just, huh?"
no, I was gonna say, but it's. I mean, I'm sure. I'm not sure if this is real or not. You know, because obviously
Right,
I don't know
right,
the guy.
right,
You know, and obviously Dominic might have shit obviously that we don't know about, so he has
right,
proof of it.
right, right.
But I'm not. I wouldn't put it past it because the saying goes, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So
Well,
it might be true.
he said Dana White even commented on it before, and so then some reporter asked Dana White about it, and Dana
Yeah,
White was like, "Man, that particular brand is really good to our fighters. He is a
yeah,
little goofy. The guy is, you know, Hans Mellencamp is a little
yeah,
goofy. He's a little weird, but like, but he's, you know, he's always been great to us. It's great for fighters to be able to be sponsored and stuff like that.
yeah. Well,
So,
yeah,
you know,
when you took off all their sponsors, fucking,
I know. Yeah, exactly,
it's
exactly.
great for them to have a sponsor after we
Exactly.
took all of their sponsorships.
Exactly. That's what he's saying. That's basically what he's
Yeah,
saying.
that's fucked
And
up.
they're switching from Reebok to Venom now.
Okay.
Yeah. So did you
Yeah,
hear about that?
I didn't hear about that, but it's
Okay.
like, Venom was one of the sponsors that people got before. Like it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Remember that?
it's
Yeah.
so yeah. I remember when it
Yeah.
was free, like, oh, this was
Yeah.
sponsored by this, that,
Yeah.
and the other thing.
And the other thing, yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
just became Reebok, which
Yeah.
fucking sucks because like you're literally taking money off their plate,
You
you know?
are, you are. It's crazy.
Like
There
they,
has to be some sort of way to do it. You know, there should be
yeah,
a way to still make it uniform because I don't want it to go back to where it was like NASCAR. I wouldn't like that.
yeah,
I think it looks cleaner this way. I
yeah,
think the
for sure.
sport looks cleaner this way.
Yeah,
But I do think there should be some maybe a space or two, like some sort of way to allow a patch or a space on your
yeah,
uniform that
yeah,
you are sponsored by something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Some sort of way, something.
And have your banner when you come out, like have your
Yeah.
banner draped in whatever the fuck, you know?
Yeah, that should be whatever. That should be
Yeah,
whatever. I don't, the
yeah.
banner
And
should
then
be whatever,
yeah,
you
and
know?
I agree. Like we don't want it crazy on your
Yeah,
clothing,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you know,
The banner
one,
should be
two,
anything though. The
yeah,
banner should be anything. I agree. I
yeah,
think it should be anything. But yeah, that was the fight card. That
yeah. It was
it
good.
was crazy, crazy fun. You know, 3 title fights and some controversy and
Oh,
some decision wins.
yeah,
You know, oh, you know what I'm excited for? Probably by the time our episode comes out, but
yeah,
DC is gonna come out on his episode tomorrow with DC and Hawani on
yeah, yeah,
Monday,
yeah.
and they're probably gonna talk about how everyone's saying DC was biased. You know, with Joe
So you want
Rogan.
to see
It
the
wasn't
response?
mostly him. It wasn't mostly
Yeah,
him, but Ariel, like I said, Ariel on his Instagram, he said he didn't agree with the judges' scorecard, which I didn't either. They were a little too, they gave Yan 10-8 rounds, which I didn't do, but I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
only off by like 1 round. It was 48-46 for me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So 49-46. It was
yeah,
fairly, you know, there was a
yeah.
separation there.
Because of the two last rounds, for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
So, you know, we'll see what they say tomorrow, but you know, that was pretty exciting. I'm excited for the next stuff coming up, but we'll see how it goes, man.
yeah, for sure, man.
Um, oh, and definitely like, comment, share, subscribe. We got to remind everybody to do that. Hit the like
Yes,
button, hit the
please.
notification bell. Thank you for doing so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's our show. Keep your hands up. Protect yourself at all times. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Saga MC.
And that's a scuffle for you. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.